still are able to sell to customers in China without doing those
listen,
BS.
You guys, so a long time ago, right? A long time ago, in our stores, there used to be, I swear to God this happened, it was so insane. We had a bus, like a big bus that went to our Santana Row store. And these customers came and mobbed our entire store. Then they went into our Berkeley store and mobbed our Berkeley store. And we were like, what the heck is going on? And we found out that in China, we became this crazy cult brand. We became an insanely popular brand because this famous celebrity makeup artist was like, I am in love with 100% Pure. 100% Pure this, 100% Pure that. I love 100% Pure. He was just totally topped up 100% Pure. So it made the Chinese fans go insane. And then it started having these Chinese movie stars and all these K-pop stars, Korean actresses that are in the movies and in soap operas and the Korean dramas, and they are very popular in China. So to make a long story short, I found out that the Chinese market. I want to get that certificate. Can you go get it?
Where is that certificate?
Maybe Rick's desk or Rick's office from PETA. So basically, what happened was, thank you, Kanako. So basically, what happened was our products became insanely coveted and in high demand, and so we started getting calls from the top department stores, etc., all over China. They're like, we need to sell your products. And we're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. But then we found out that you have to do animal testing. So we said no. We don't care how much we can sell of our products. We don't care if you're going to test on animals. We're not going to sell to China. And the reason why I'm so strongly against it is because before I started 100% Pure, I used to work for some of the world's largest cosmetic companies, and they would say no animal testing, and I was horrified because I saw little animals, little hamsters. They were in this glass beaker, like this, imagine a glass cup, covering my body, and then they would infuse fragrances for 12 hours a day. And just imagine anyways, I just saw such horrific things, and so I'm I will never support animal testing. I want to actually do the opposite, and that's when I became a huge animal advocate. And that's why we are right now raising money for PETA for every picture you post with you and an animal, and hashtag 100% Pure.
At 100%.
At 100% Pure.
And
hashtag World Animal Day. We're donating because we donate a lot to animal charities. Okay, I'm digressing, but so anyways, I'm a huge animal lover. I would never test on animals. I would rather forsake profits, forsake money, than to test on animals. I just don't think it's fair for innocent animals. I could lose I could lose millions of dollars. I swear to God, I will never ever test on animals. And so what we did was, our CEO, he's very, very smart. We found a loophole. We can sell in China, but what we did was, so basically, tell Rick to come here. Ask him if he'll come here. Okay. But basically, we found a loophole, and what we did was I think it's the way it works is if you import your products from the United States or anywhere into China, and then you are selling it through department stores or retailers, you're required by the government to test on animals. But if you go and if you're a Chinese company, we set up a Chinese company, and then we sell direct to consumers, that requires no animal testing. Is he going to come?
I think so.
So when Rick comes, I'll ask him in more detail. How do you not test on animals? Oh, and then by the way, PETA gave us this, and they said, thank you. Is this specifically for, no, there was one specifically, thank you for not going into China, for not testing, for rejecting China. But I got a certificate from PETA that thanked us for not, for basically foregoing profits. Here, sit down.
I was watching, so I heard you wanted me to come.
Well, so our fans said...
Hi guys,
they
I'm
wanted
Repost, I'm CEO, one of the co-founders with Susie
Yay.
that started the company.
They want to know, how do you prevent animal testing, but you still sell it in China? Joy.
Yeah, there's when you do cross-border e-commerce, you don't have to register the products because the products are not tested. If you register the products in China, you have to test on animal. Should I look at this one? You have 3 phones.
It's okay. This one's YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay, got it. So if you register the products, you have to test on animals unless you manufacture the products in China. It's sort of a trade barrier that China set up. They did that intentionally. It's totally just a trade barrier. That's my opinion, totally opinion there. But if you don't register the products, you don't have to test on animals. Well, there's also concern that if you had your products on a shelf in China, that the China FDA might take the product and test on animals. That I don't have any verification on. I'm not sure. To this point, I hear conflicting things, but we don't have our products on any shelves in any stores in China, so we're not at risk of having animals being tested on that way. And then you have, if you ship to a commercial address in China, the customs will look and they will check if your products are registered. So we cannot ship to a commercial address inside China. So even shipping to our office in China, because we have a local office there in order to handle the marketing out there, it's sort of a necessity because everything's in the Chinese language. When I go visit that office, I carry products with me because there's no way we can ship products to that office because it's a commercial address. Customs will look at the package and say these products are not registered, and they'll reject the package or seize the products. So we store things in Hong Kong. We used to store things in Portland, and then Hong Kong's kind of a neutral territory. Yes, it's part of China, but it's not considered under the it's kind of free trade area of China. So we have a contract warehouse in Hong Kong. We store the product. Somebody places an order through our website or through Tmall, and we ship. Well, if it's it depends on where they're ordering from. If they're ordering from our website, we ship from Hong Kong direct to the consumer. If they order from Tmall, so we ship to Tmall. Tmall is like the biggest marketplace. It's like what Amazon is in the U.S. It is to China, except in China the difference is everybody orders through the marketplace. They don't order through branded websites anymore. It's kind of the direction I see U.S. commerce going. And so Tmall will we hold inventory in Tmall's warehouse, which is in what's called a free trade zone area in a city in China nearby Guangzhou, nearby Hong Kong. And then they ship from that city direct to consumer. And that city doesn't require the products to be registered. Laws are kind of tricky in China because they can change overnight and they'll just announce it and nobody will expect it. So trade zones are kind of like that. They designate a certain trade zone, they might change it overnight. We're just nimble and we'll move. If they change the law and said all cross-border e-commerce needs to be tested on animals, guess what? We'll just shut it down. We're not going to do it. That's our values. That's that's our integrity. We're not going to violate that.
And in fact, isn't it so? If we're too controversial, we get warnings. They can kick us out. So we have to be we basically have to be careful.
Well, I told them our marketing teams we don't do anything too crazy in China to promote the animal effort because the government's very powerful out there. They can just pull your business license. They monitor everything. So the way we operate out there is by increasing our branding out there. We make sure that cruelty-free is part of our messaging, and then we target. In China, there's growing. People are starting to have pets in China now, and they're starting the cruelty-free movement is happening. It's very, very small right now, but it's happening and it's growing really fast. So we target those populations and we can spread this message organically throughout China. We can change the way consumers are in China and the perception of cruelty-free and animals and actually change society, make a difference. Yeah. So that's the idea. but we can't do it too radically out there, or else it will backfire, and we'll just be shut down. So we do it kind of subversively.